Hello, welcome to Scalemodeling, and welcome to part 2 of our Yamato Battleship Turret build by Fujimi. And in the last part we were getting ready to paint some parts. Here they are painted, and first of all I've got to mention that I've already put this together, and unfortunately I lost the footage of doing that. But anyway, we'll have a look at that in a second. In the meantime, let's go back to a bit of a time lapse and we can have a look at this all getting painted up. Okay, so I'll be back shortly. Okay, so that went down real well, didn't it? The parts come up really nice. Here they are here. So, as you can see, really nice. Now this one I've put together, unfortunately it's got the 3 pieces around the outside that you saw me painting. These pieces in here, they're all part of step 3, and going over to step 4 without doing the bottom bit, which we haven't done yet. So this has all come up really nice, and we've got the barrels done. This I also painted the grey, which is actually needs to be done the metallic grey, so I'll paint over the top of that, fix that up. And these parts here need some white bits done, so I need to mask the bottom of this, and I'm going to hand brush those little pieces in there, and basically getting it to look like this. These parts here all need to be painted as well, including some more of the, going back to step 1, this section here. So I've taken these off the sprue, they're in there ready to get painted now. There they are there. They're all going to get undercoated in our Outlaw Paints primer, and then I'll be doing them the white, flat white that they need to be. Alright, so yeah, if you're watching this for the first time, please hit subscribe, hit the like button, and give us a thumbs up if you like this at the end, and I'll go and paint these parts here, and we can get some more bits put together. Okay, I'm back shortly. Also, while I'm in the painting mood, I'm going to get these done. So these sections here, all this raised area needs to be done white, while the base is grey. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prime it all, and then I'm going to put paint it all white, and then when that's all dry, I'll just brush paint all in the base in there. That would be the easiest way to get that grey and getting it looking like that, which you'll sort of be able to see, but not really clear because you'll be looking through the side there. So I'll take these off the sprue and also get them in the spray booth ready to go as well. Back shortly. Okay, back again. I just wanted to show you this ring here that goes around the base of the turret that sits on the clear part is painted metallic. So what I've done is I've taped that up and painted it, looking pretty good. So let's just take the tape off. There we go. That's good. And that will sit on there, and the turret should rotate around on the top of that. Okay, so let me go get the other parts that are drying and we'll have a look at them. Okay, welcome back again. So these are the white parts that I've painted. So they're those pillars that will go in the back, and there's the other two main ones there, painted up. There's one of the bases, which I'm going to hand paint the grey around the base of that, which I've already started on the other one, which is this. So you can see I've just done the first coat. I'm just going to give it a second coat, and that might be enough. We'll see how it goes. That's come up pretty good. Bit time consuming, but trying to keep it neat. So that's good. That will be done with the same on that one. And then I've put together the lower sections, which were these two here, right back in step one, which is finished now, finally. Well, almost, I should say. So there's this part here. So these little white bits were done, hand painted. This is just not glued in yet, but it's been lowered down. I think it will come off. Oh no, I put that in pretty tight. They clip in, there's a center post for it. So that's pretty much going to stay like that. And then the other two sections I showed you that I'm working on now will go down on top of this, like that's showing in the picture there. All right, there they are there. So when I've got them painted on, I can put them on, and then that side profile should show how that looks. And as you can tell, with the angle, it should be fine. Yeah, I have test fitted them. They go through, they're fine. And then the other little white parts that I showed you that I painted, they'll all go in on top of the upper section. And then from then on, we go over and start putting this together, which we've already done. Okay, so we've already done that one, which is actually that. So that's all finished. I put it all on top and enclosed it to this point here, except for the top here, which I haven't put on yet. But it's all, this is done, all that's all enclosed on there. This part here needs to be painted. It's actually still on the sprue, so we'll get to that. And of course there's the bit we just did where that sits on the clear part underneath. All right, so yeah, I'll finish doing those, hand painting those pieces, and then we'll come back, we'll slide them on, and we'll have a look at fitting these parts on. Okay, we'll be back then, back shortly. Hey everybody, welcome back. So I've done the second coat on here, and that's how I'm going to leave it. It looks really rough, you might notice, but I want it to look weathered. So I don't want it to look pristine. And the other fact is that I have problems brush painting Tamiya paints. Yeah, I need to get some, I use leveling thinner, but I need that other one that's for stopping the paint drying so fast, and that prevents the streaks, because when I brush it on, it just leaves those streaks there from underneath, and I can't avoid it. I'm trying to think what it is, what that stuff was called. And I just snuck over and looked on my Google, and it's paint retarder. The Tamiya retarder is what I need. Yeah. So, but this time I'm not going to worry about it because it's done now. But in future, I will order myself a bottle of it and have it here, because I do a little bit of brush painting now and then. And it seems that seems to be the stuff I need. So with that done and with those dried, we can now start to put them on here. Okay, that's the plan. So if we have a look at our instructions, and I'll just move everything out of the road. We need to put this one, which will be, no we don't, this one first, which is this one. So take that off, and that is going to go, it looks maybe, yeah, that way. Can't go wrong here, you can't go wrong, you've got to fit, this has to go in through the slot there, and then you've got this part which joins onto the little nub there, so we should be right. And if it fits really tight, it may not even need to be glued. Let's see how well we get that in there. I think that's, boy, those things are sharp. Okay, that's on. It's quite tight, but I will put a dab of glue down in there just to make sure, and make sure everything's straight, which it looks quite level there. And then we're going to put the next part, this one, will go on top of this way. Let me just check. Go that way. That's going to go in there, I think, yeah. Go in the middle. Yeah. And that's going to go on there. No, it doesn't seem right. Okay, that one's going to stay up. Oh, there we go. That's fitting on there perfectly. All right, so that's going to go there like that. Very, very good. All right. Now what I'll do is I'm going to go and touch a little bit of glue in there just to make sure that's all on there securely, and then we'll mark them off, which we'll do now. So that's done, that's on, that's painted, And these ones are all on, and that's how it looks. That's done. I'll just touch this with some, excuse me, with some glue, and we'll come back and get these parts on, which are all ready to go on for step 2. Okay, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so that's all glued on, and just to test fit, to make sure everything's okay, I grabbed our clear part here and I popped that in there and made sure it's all sitting in there perfectly, and it is. So there we go, everything's straight, everything's as it should be. All right, now I'm just going to get all our other parts and we'll start adding some more onto the top here. Back in a sec. Okay, so I cheated a bit. I've already put one in. I was a bit worried. I thought, oh no, it's not going to fit. So there it is there. It goes straight through the holes that are there, which is where this one's about to go. Just push that into there. Let it slide down and into the plate here. And just push it in. And that's it. That one's in. So they're all in now. Everything's still straight. All I'm going to do is just touch a bit of glue underneath there to hold them in place. Where is my glue? Just go like that. Touch there. That one. And that one. All right. Very good. Very good, very good. Now, these parts go on here. So they're key to the way they fit. You just got to get the right way up. And it looks to me like they go that way. I'll show you what I'm looking at so I can tell. So we've just put these two B4 and B5 straight in. And now we're working on these. They're all the same F1 numbers, so you can't get them mixed up. But they do need to go in the right way. So that's the wrong way. I think that's the right way there. Okay. So, oh, I see. So they're going to go through the top like that and into this plate underneath. Oh, perfect. There it is there. Just clipped in there. Nice. Let's get the rest in, eh? Same in the middle there. Clip into the center, into there. Good. That's the sound we want to hear. This one in here. Clip it in. Oh, there we go. It's in. And I thought, sorry about the noise. Motorbikes. So, yeah, I thought the last one was going to be a problem, but it wasn't. They've all gone in perfect. Once again, I'll just touch some glue in there. Put that on. Does anyone find, I've got a question you might be able to answer in comments. I have a habit of tightening these back on because I never used to have these little containers to stop them getting knocked over. So I've got a habit of still tightening them up when I'm finished with them. But I'm just wondering, do these evaporate? Does it hurt to leave it like that for an hour or two while you're building? Yeah, let me know in the comments. Should I be concerned of it evaporating? I don't think it would, mate, much, but you know, you never know. So I'll just tap that on there, bit on there, bit on there. That's it. Another one done. Just hope that the piece that fits on top's gonna, well, it has to line up, doesn't it? Yeah, we'll get that to line up, no problem. Right, there, and there I go, tightening it up again. It's not going to spill because it's in this container, but at least it won't evaporate. Right, we'll come back to here now, and we're looking at this, and there's a top-down view, just making sure everything looks like it does. And we look at that, and it does, or does it? Yeah, it does. Had me worried there. They do look a bit different from the top down, don't they? I've definitely put them in the right way. They only go one way. That's a bit of a deceiving there, isn't it? So if we look at this closely, I'll show you what I mean. So there's the pins in the top, right? You can see that, and the round bit with the piece sticking out at the back here. Here's the round bit with the pin in the top, and there's the piece sticking out the back there, exactly the same. But what's this? What are these parts here? They're not on there. So that's a little bit deceiving there. That's not a very accurate picture. And yeah, I'm sure the picture's wrong. I'm right, but the picture's wrong. We'll find out when we fit the next piece on top. Not sure when that'll be. But for the moment, that's done. So, move that out of the way for a sec. Step 2 is done. Cross all them off. They're all done. They're done, they're done, they're done. Not sure about that. That looks, it's right, but it's just the picture's wrong. All right, so 3 we've already done. That's already done and painted up. So we've got that all sorted. Where is that piece? Oh, that piece is done. Right. Go over to 4. Which is, hey, this is good. Yeah, getting exciting now. So now we're up to the part where that goes on top of here. And it goes like that. So you can see, there's where those 3 go. 1, 2, 3. And those 3 go into there. Oh, and we've got these 2 pins here, which will go into there. What are the chances of all these lining up, eh? Well, there's one way to find out. Let's give it a go. Oh, so far so good. Bit of a twist here and there. Okay, those fitted okay. May need a little bit of manipulating. I think our only problem, I'll get that in. That's going to go across. That's got to line up. Okay, the problem I see here is where the paint has added an extra layer on those 2 pins there and causing them a bit of a tight fit there. So what I'll do is I'll get my knife and just open them up a bit, which is what I had to do with these here as well. And all I did was got this here and just went around like this. That's all. Just trim that out a bit. Whoop. Oh. Okay, one more around there. See if that fits any better. Oh yes, I think that went on then. Whoop. Right, and then we just need to straighten these up in the right positions. Yeah. Okay, I might have to fiddle with this off camera and get them all lined up. But they are going in, definitely. All right, I'll be back in a sec. I'll just get these in. Okay, I could have done that on camera after all. It wasn't as awkward as I thought. All I did was got a toothpick in there and just pushed everything down into their positions. And it's in there now. Everything's lined up. There it is. Just double checking it all. I'll put it back in the plastic in its clear cup, make sure it's all fitting properly too, just to be sure, certain. But that looks good. I haven't glued anything yet, but I will. I'm just going to touch some glue down in there. Yeah, that looks good. All right, excellent. Okay, let me just do this with the glue. Oh, here I am having to undo it again. There we go. Right, so we'll just put a tad bit in there. There, that run through. And these pieces here, touch that there. 2, 3. That's it. Let's have a look at our clear piece. Drop that in there and see. Oh yeah, that fits. Of course, we've got to put the ring around on there, which is coming up shortly, I think. But yeah, there it is, looking good. All right, I'll leave that to dry for a few minutes, and we'll go back to our instructions. We can cross off. That is now done. This I haven't glued in place yet. This is that ring, this metallic part here we did earlier, which is going to go on here, like, well, pretty much like that. Yeah. And that will go like that. Yes, it will. All right. Good. Yeah, there it is. Right. Very happy with that. Take that back off carefully. There we go. Right, I'm just going to leave this to dry for a little longer before I handle that anymore. And yeah, we'll attach that onto here. Now the idea of attaching onto here, I'm just trying to think, this turret is supposed to turn. So I'm thinking it might be better if I was to put that on, because it's quite firm. That's going to glue. We'll have to glue that in. Yeah. And to glue that in, I'll use my canopy glue, which I'll grab. That's my MIG Ultra glue. It dries completely clear. So I'm going to Yeah, I'll put that in there. All right, I'll be back in a sec. All right, so I've changed my mind. I'm not going to glue that on there because that fits really tight. And I'll be able to take that off. And if I need to clean this clear on the inside, any dust, or not that dust is going to get in there, but for cleaning purposes, but it's really tight. That's not going to come off at all. So that is done as is. So we'll cross off number 5. That's done. That's done. Now, number 6. A lot of this is done, but we haven't finished the top, which is the parts that go on here. And they're actually still on the sprue, so we've got a bit of painting and masking to do. So I need to get those off the sprue. So we'll get those put on top, and then if I quickly look over, yeah, there's also some sections to go on here as well. I'm just looking at the color, so all these parts are going to be white, which I think they already are, but we'll prime them and then paint them white, and then they'll get fitted onto there. Then we go down to number 8, which is already done. We did all the top of the turret, which is here. It's already been all those parts put on. And then we'll go over to number 9, which is the loading mechanisms will go in on top of this. There's quite a bit of work to be done on the top of that yet. Before even the what we got? Number 10's already done. We put those gun directors, I think they are, on the sides. They're already done. And of course the barrels and the blast bags will go on later towards the end. The barrels are already painted. So yeah, it's coming up well. All right, I'm going to tidy up here, and we'll get some other sprues over here and get some parts off that need painting. Okay, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, back again. So here's our sprue. I'll open up. There's the white parts, although not entirely white, as I'm finding out. This section here, which is this part, will go on the top here. Now, all this here is white, but the back of it is grey. That's white. It's just this section here that's grey. So what I'll be able to do is, it's probably easier to spray the whole thing, undercoat it all first, spray it all white, and then I will mask up this part here and just airbrush that white, grey, back section grey. There's these two little pieces here which are also going to be white. Unfortunately, the connection point on the sprue is at the bottom of the tab that goes through the base, where it won't be seen. And there it is there. Okay, so that means that I'll be able to cut that off the sprue in a way that I can leave that on the end, and I've got something to hold it by, my clips. So my clip will sort of hold it like that. And that way, when I do, after I paint it and I do cut it off, it won't matter because that's be out of sight. Also here we've got this piece here, which runs across the back there, which will be white. So that's simple. We'll be able to take that off and do that white. And then we have the gold parts in there. Well, they're separate. They're on the gold sprue. So that'll be these ones here. I'm not sure whether I will paint them or leave them as they are. They might look fine as they are. We'll see. I do want to detail even these parts, even though they're white. So we'll see how it comes up after it's been hit with a grey undercoat. There may be some detail in there where some panel line wash will bring it up, I'm sure. You can probably see here better how those look. Just the shadow detail is what I want to get to come up. Now these pieces here, these walls, which run here and here, they're also going to be white. I can take them off the sprue. Those little pins at the bottom are where they go into the base of here. They go in here and here. So I can use those as points to hold with my alligator clips. So I've got, again, somewhere to hold them and I can spray them and it's not going to be a problem. What else have I got? These parts here are going to be white, so I'm going to spray them even though they're put in later, at a later step. Because I figure, well, I've got the white paint out, I may as well be doing all the parts white. And that includes these. So over in step 7, we've got these M1, M5, M4 and 2, which look like they do need to be kept in the correct order. So we don't want to get them mixed up, and there they are there. So we'll figure out how I'm going to do that. 1, 2, 4 and 5. So there is no 3. That's right, there is no 3. Okay, we'll figure that out. So again, I'll be able to take those off and paint them as well. And that's pretty much everything on that sprue. Now there's more white parts going further on into step 9, which are these. Okay, those have to be joined together and sprayed. So the best way to do those, I think, would be after they're joined. And I've just noticed then that these parts, which are part of the breech, I think, they connect onto these. So it may be an idea to put these together completely with these on them and then spray. I think I'll do that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead now and yeah, because then they all go on together as one piece. Each piece goes straight in. All right, so if you're building this, follow along. I'm trying to find the simplest method that allows you to paint these and get them on. So I'm going to take all these pieces off, get them all ready to paint. These parts we'll put together and we'll come back as I put them together and we'll see how they look before we mount them to paint. Okay, back again shortly. Okay, so got these parts all on, ready to be painted. These ones I've done number 1 and number 2. Join them together, make sure they sit nice. Sanded the bits of sprue off so they're flush. And then we have this, which goes in one way, so it's keyed. Pop that on the end. All I need to do is clamp this side down and it'll be fine, and glue that together. And I'll paint that like that. And yeah, it should be fine. I'll do that with the other. There's 3 of them all together, so I'll do that with these. Then mount them, which will probably, there's a hole there, I could maybe mount them. Just checking what would be the best way to mount those for painting. I think that hole's a bit too big for a toothpick. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Again, but there's the base of it there, so really I could just go like this. Oh, it's not going to hold, is it? Just my luck. Yeah, I'll work it out. Anyway, I'll get these all glued, put together, and then I'll come back before I paint them. Okay, back again in a sec. Okay, so we're ready to start painting. I ended up holding these by the clips through this end because these the breeches here on the end have to be painted gold. So it's not going to matter if I don't get them completely covered in primer, because they're going to be brush painted in gold. So that's fine. They're ready to go. And as for these, to keep them in order, I'm going to paint them on the sprue because the connection points are on the bottom. It's going to be sitting flush on the, as you can see here, see, they're going to be sitting straight down onto this base. So where I cut them off after they're painted, not even going to need touch up, it'll be underneath. So that makes that job easy of keeping them in order. And my last clip, we'll hold it like that. There it is. So I'm going to go in the other room and give these a coat of primer with my Outlaw Paints primer. And yeah, I'm probably going to have to let that dry overnight because it's getting late in the afternoon now. It's 5 p.m. And then I'll come back and we'll have to do the white. Hit it with the white afterwards. Okay, so I'll do that and I shall return back soon. Hey everybody, welcome back. So while I've got those parts drying, as I always do, I'm going to move on to something else. And I've decided to start on the guns that sit on top of the turret. So we've got some gun placements up here. They come in 3 parts in step 12, which is actually the last step of the build, but we're jumping a little bit ahead here because I want to get these painted. So we've got the base, and then we've got the piece that goes on top, and then we've got the barrels of the gun, which I thought I was missing because I'm thinking, wait a minute, where are those? And then I didn't realize there were 2 sprues, 2 R sprues I left in the box, and there they are there. Now these ones are actually already coloured gunmetal, and I think they look really good. And the detail, as you can tell, the detail in those is really good too. So what I'm thinking of doing is leaving them. I'm not going to paint them. I'm just going to leave them that colour. They look fine once they're clear coated like everything else and then weathered a little bit. They're going to look perfect. These, of course, will be painted because the grey is not the same as the grey on here. So I'll give them a spray. I'll probably do them on the sprue as well. There's some little pieces I can clip off that don't need to be there, and so I'll spray them on there. So again, undercoat and then the primary paint, and that's it. I've also decided that these parts here, which go onto the back of the barrels that get loaded, they're already gold. So I do have the gold leaf I was going to paint them with, but I figure I'll do the same thing. I'll leave them as well. Plus the fact that I don't think you can see them because they're underneath this. And I still don't know whether this, well, it's got the locating pins here. If I glue that down, there's so much work in there that you can't see. It doesn't make sense. So I'm going to, hopefully I'll be able to attach this without gluing it down and have it so they can be removed to look. Maybe, you know, I'm thinking ahead here, thinking out loud, is once my Yamato 1200's built and I've got 3 of these standing beside it on the base, I could have them in different ways. So I could have them like one fully together as it is, one with this on the top, but one without it on top. I don't know, but just to show them off and see all the detail. Just an idea. Anyway, all right, I'm going to get on to getting these painted up so we can fit them and put them all on. Okay, oh, and also I've got to do the blast bags, which will definitely get painted, so I'll undercoat those. The barrel's already done, so we're pretty close to being done then with all the painting. There are these ones here in grey, which look the same as those. Not sure what the difference is. I'll have to have a look through the instructions and find out why we've got those 2 different ones that look the same. We'll see. Okay, I shall return. Okay, welcome back again. So I've painted the parts I was telling you about. So there's these ones, and I did them in the primer, so I've still got to put them in the base color yet, which is somewhere around here. There it is, XF75. So I'll do that, put that there so I remember. But in the meantime, all these are dried. So So as you can see here, they're all done. All the white. That part will be grey. I'll just mask that up. And these ones are all done. Looking good there. So there's the walls that go in. You know, very nice. They're not, because I've done the grey primer coat, they're not completely white. So they do have a greyish tone to them, and that's what I want. That looks good, because pure white, they're not going to be pure white, are they? So I think that's going to look better. And of course, these little brackets are all done. So there's a lot of stuff ready to go on where we're up to in the turret at the moment. Oh yes, and also these blast bags, I've painted them. They're done. I did them in the white. So they're all good to go. I'll put that aside, and we'll grab our instructions and see where we're up to. So 1, 2, 3 steps done. 4's done, 5's done, 6 is where we're up to now. Now, of course, to fit this piece in here, which is this, I still have to do this black grey. So right now, the best thing I need to do now is just to mask that up and then hit that with grey, and I'll do it at the same time as I'm doing this. All right, that makes sense, doesn't it? So that'll all be done then. There is a couple little things, little bits that can go down on the top there. They're already painted. But that's it. Everything else on there is relying on this to be painted up before we can move to step 7, which is everything else. Okay. And to give you better orientation, they're all going to be going on here. Okay. So this, I can take that off now. This sits like that there, apparently. Yes, exactly like that. And what else? Oh, we've got that piece across the back there, which is this piece. That's going to go on there. But anyway, enough talk. I'll mask this up and spray it, and then we can come back and fit it, and of course spray them as well. I'll be back shortly. Okay, so I'm waiting for those parts to dry. There they are there, just been painted. So while that's happening, we move on to other things, which is putting these on. So I'm not even sure what they are, but I popped one in there and it fits, and the other one here that we painted, I'm going to put it on as well. And this, that off. And again, the sprue connection was on the part that goes under the deck here, like into the slot. So I'm going to put that in there. Push it down. See if it goes in as easily as it did on the other side. That's what I'm hoping. And there it is. Good. Okay, so those two are in and not glued. So I have to be very careful with the glue here, because I can't access it from underneath. It doesn't go right through, I don't think. Oh, it does. So maybe I could put some glue under there. Yeah, I can just get some glue in there, keep it in place, because I don't want to risk the glue going across the paint and messing that up. So let's get this tiny little bit in there. That's it. And there we go. Like that. Perfect. This side, same. There it is. All right. Those are on. Oops away, and What else can we do? That's about all I think I can put on until these parts dry. Just mark them off. There. And that's done, and that's done. Oops, done. So yeah, that is all I can do for the moment. But what I will do is take this tape off. I don't like this tape staying on too long. The last time, for some reason, pulled off. This is Tamiya tape, but it took the paint off with it. Luckily, it wasn't on an area that could be seen, so I wasn't too concerned. But this one, just want to make sure it's going to be okay, and that looks fine. What I did this time was I took some of the tackiness off it. I stuck it on my mat first and then peeled it off, so it wasn't quite as sticky. Some people do that, like sticking it on their skin and do it, but sometimes you get oils, pick up oils off your skin and put that onto the piece. Don't really want to do that. And of course on the mat too, you want to make sure that's clean, and you don't want to cause a problem with that. Okay, so this one will come off like this. There we go. Perfect. There. It's off. I certainly did a good job of masking it. Lots of bits and pieces. Better to be safe than sorry. Like I said, I painted this literally 5 minutes ago. But the mask is only there to stop the paint from going where you don't want it to go. Then take your mask off, get rid of it. You don't need it. There you go, perfect. Paint went exactly where I wanted it to go. Okay, so I'm going to leave that aside to dry. Then we'll come back and we can fit this and some other bits to it. Okay, back shortly. Okay, so this is dried up enough now to put on. And I'm just looking at the locating pins where that's going to go. It's going to sit on there like that. And yeah, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue on these. This off. Just touch a bit there, 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 and there. Line them up. There's there. Done. That's on. I left some terrible fingerprints on there. I hope I can get rid of that. Let me grab a cotton bud. Look at those. Look at that. My oily fingers. Let me fix that up. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I fixed that up with a bit of just a cotton bud with a bit of water on it. And here I am touching more and more. So yeah, I'm going to go wash my hands, get grease off, a bit of dishwashing liquid, and then we'll come back and we're going to put a piece on the back there. Back in a sec. Okay, so yeah, that was my fault. I had some toast and peanut butter. That's probably the worst thing I could be eating before coming back and touching the model. Okay, so now we've got this piece, which goes across here. Just going to look at which way it's going to fit. It's only going to go one way. It's going to sit in there. do a quick test fit. Yeah, that's going in beautiful. So well that I can't get it back out. Just get something under there. Okay. All right. So again, just a touch of glue under there. Yes. Just like that. So, clumsy. Done. Okay. All right. Hold on. I do believe that's all part 6 done now. Just bring that aside for a moment. Just check. So that's on. There. Done. Those bits are on. That's done. Yep, that's number 6. Finish. 7. All right, now we can put the interior, these walls and the brackets to go in. Don't know which way to go first. I'm just thinking, try these brackets first. Now these are numbered and have to be kept in the correct order. So we've got M1 starts here, which will be M1 is this one here. Then we got M5 is that, M4 is that, and M2 must be that. Okay. And again, the connecting points, that's why I sprayed them on the sprue here, are on the lower part that's not going to be affected. So we can cut them off in there, that. Okay, and this one is going to go M1 in there, which it does. I'm just going to test fit them all first before I glue them. Then we want M5. It's this one. M5. Okay. That's going to go that way. And it does not look correct, but it must be. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong piece. Yeah, it's okay. Chillax. Yeah. So it's going to go there. Like that. Then we need M4, which is here. Yep. That. And our last one here. 2, 2. It's going to go there. Like that. All right, another sprue finished. Okay, so we can mark them off as all done. So now we've got the walls to put in. There's an M7 and an M6. Did I mark them? Probably not. Let's have a look. Fairly sure they're only going to work one way, so M7 is going to be this one. I think is going to go in there. And the M6. Yeah, that's it. M7 there, in there. And again, we're just doing a dry fit. Looks, that's fine. That's good. And this one. Go like that. There we go. So those are now in. Not glued down, but they're in. Which means we can mark them off as done. Step 7 done. Excellent. All right. I'll just add some glue to these. So they're more permanent, they're permanently in. Yeah. All right, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so they're glued in now, although I may need just a little bit more. Now I was looking at these going in and I was trying to figure out how they work. So that's going to sit in there like that. And then I'm looking and thinking, so that's what this probably means in Japanese. So this little bit here obviously means do not glue. So they're supposed to rotate like that, and that is so our guns can position themselves. All right. So they'll just sit in there. But what we do need to do is add these on the back. That needs to be glued on. And this part, which I haven't painted yet, which is supposed to be gold. If you look in the picture on here, you'll see what I mean. So here you can see the gold there. So I guess I better do that. Obviously, I'm just going to brush paint those parts, and just looking at how much room I've got to work on here, and it should be fine. I should be able to brush paint them. All right. And then attach those. Yeah. I just hope my gold paint comes up all right, hey? It's actually gold leaf. It's not going to be the same as this. What I think I might do is I could do it in like a gunmetal or metallic grey. Maybe metallic grey might be better. Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. All right, let me ponder my options here and I'll be back in a sec. All right, so I've gone with the metallic grey XF56, which is the same as what we did the base of this, which was this part. We did all that in the metallic grey. So there, I've done painted one. I've just hand brushed that one on, and I've attached the silver, the gold part into there. So that looks all pretty good. I know it looks a little bit, rough, but this is going to get a lot of use, isn't it? It's going to be filthy, and I still have to do a bit of weathering yet. So there's going to be like gunpowder, I'm assuming, or some sort of blast marks around the back of this, and it's going to be filthy. So we've still got some panel line washing and stuff to do on that. And of course, everything to be clear coated, which is something I've got to remember. We're getting close to. So that's that one done, and that was one of the ones that sit in the back here, or this one. That's it there. Yeah, that's going to sit in there like that. Okay, so one done. I'll do these others now and come back in a minute. Okay, so those are in. There's 1, 2, 3. Good. They're just sitting in there. They're not glued. I'm guessing that's how they're supposed to look. Supposed to go. Yeah. Well, good. So now, moving on, we got... This is all step 9. And I can circle that because it's all done. Right. Over the page. So step 10 is already done because that's part of the top of the turret we did earlier. Now we're on to number 11 here. And then there's 12. So 11 is actually putting the blast bags on and the actual guns. So I suppose we might as well get that done, hey? There's our, these are already painted and ready to go. And then we've got our barrels. Now it does say that the top needs to be on, so this has to be put on. Now I don't want to glue this on because then you can't take it off and see all this at all because this is completely covering everything. See? So it looks like I can just push that on and that'll be able to stay like that, and then I can lift it off. But no, I can't lift it off, can I? Because these have to go on, and if I put these on, maybe I can slide it off. I'm having my doubts. I got a feeling that once this is on, it's going to be permanent. I'm just going to sit that softly like that. Let me try one of these. These are all number 1, so they're all the same. Just get that off. I'll just fit one, see how it goes. So that goes like that, I guess. Over the top of that. Must be. It's funny how these actually look different to the picture. You can see the picture there. See the tops of them? They look like they've got something on the top. Whereas these are completely plain. Nothing there. So, but I guess they're okay because going by the picture here, they do look like that. There is nothing on there. Okay. So I think we can fit these. I'll take this off, back off first. Take that off. Let me slide one of these on like this. Alright, that's on there. That is on so firmly, I don't think I need to glue that. And then that will go like that. I think that can fit over the top, can it? Or is there a problem there? Let me see. Okay, so that's not going to fit through there. Interesting. Try this way. All right. That's a really tight fit in there. Okay, so pretty much it looks to me like this will have to be glued on, and we're not going to be able to see any of that work on the inside, because if I don't glue this on, see, then I won't be able to take it off anyway, because it's not going to fit over there. See, that's going to sit there. Let's have one of these on. Again, these are keyed, so that's going to slide in there. It will slide in there. It's tight. Might be best if I put that on before I slide the glass bag on. Just get this off again. See, it catches there. It's so close to fitting. My guess is that's a kit problem. They've made a mistake. They've just made that too much where it's not clearing the hole for it to go in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and put this on here. There we go. So that's fine. So I'll put them together like that. Then I can put these in like they should be, which that one's upside down. These will go in like that. I'll glue that on top and then slide that in, I guess. Is that going to work? I don't think it will, because it has to go that way. Yeah. Again, very tight fit. And then that's going to go in there, which it will. Okay, that will slide on there. I'll just keep working it in. But like I say, this has to be glued on. I won't be able to take them off, on and off. It's a real shame having designed it another way so that all this can be seen. There's all this like metal work under there. You got all the detail on this. All this in here, which I was just saying I'm going to use panel wash and bring it all up, but there's no point because you won't see it because this is going to be glued on top. Like that. Now I'm just going to put that on as it's going to be, which is like this. There we go. That's on now, right? These parts are all rotating the way they should. And it's just a matter of sliding them on like that. All right, and they do go up and down, but not very much. So, okay, Not a problem. All right, I shall return. I'll take these two off the sprue. I'll get the other guns fitted on there, and then we'll come back and work on the guns on the top there. Okay, we'll be back in a sec. Okay, so they're on. They go up and down. Position them how you want. Looking good. But like I said, all that detail underneath, you just can't see. But anyway, so that part's done now, which is step 11. Circle that is done. Now we're up to just putting the guns up, anti-aircraft guns that are up, go on top here, which are here. So we're good to go with these, and we also have them here, which I showed you before already, the gunmetal grey, which I've decided to leave them like that. So yeah, let's let me take these pieces off and stick them together, and we'll position them on there. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so we've got our guns together, which are just going to go sit in there like that. I can angle them how I want before I glue them, so we're going to make sure they're at the same angle on both sides. So we'll put that one in there. Whoop. Straighten that up. Put that in. There it is. Looks good. Pop some glue under there. I guess we'll have them pointing in an upward, bit of an upward direction. I like that. That looks fine. All right. I'll touch a bit of glue in there, and we'll come back and see what is next. I think we're nearly done. Okay, back in a sec. Okay, so there's our anti-aircraft guns positioned. Yep, they're not going anywhere. Everything else it's done. We've finished actually. Here's our clear base for this to go in. So it is going to just pop down into there. I can just twist that a little bit, and that's going to sit on there like that. There's our turret done. Looking at it from the angle from there, you can see all through inside. Pretty good, eh? I think that looks really nice. Now, I'm not going to weather this now because, like I mentioned, I want to display this with my Yamato 1/200 scale model. So I want the weathering on this to match the actual ship, which don't know how that's going to be at this point. If I do it all together, it's all going to look much better. But what I will do is I'm going to go and spray this in a clear coat and let that dry, so that when I do the weathering, then the enamel panel line and all the rest won't have an effect. But yeah, so I'll just go and quickly give this a spray. I'll let it dry, and then we'll come back and have a look. Now I'll be using the Tamiya clear, so it may make it look a little bit glossy, but that's only because I want to do the washes and bring up more of the detail. We've got ladders down the side here and so forth. So once it's all weathered and all that's all done, then I will give it another coat of just a flat clear. And I think that would be the best way to leave it. Obviously, I'm not going to clear coat this. This will be put aside, but all this, I'll give this all clear coat. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Not bad. All right, well, I'll be back in a second and we'll have a final look. And I'll put a few photos up too, I suppose. Yeah. All right, back shortly. Okay, welcome back. So we're finished. Here it is. I clear coated it yesterday. It's all dry now. There it is. Got our guns on the top here. All that looking really nice. These go up and down as they're supposed to. Done. And of course, the clear part, which it sits in, like that. It's fine. Look at that. There's the view inside. And it's going to sit like that. Now, I've, like I mentioned before, purposely I haven't weathered this. But when I do, it'll be when all three are built. This is only one out of the box. So now I've just got to do all this again 2 more times. Of course, I won't be doing the inside of this in the detail I was because there was no need to. Now, I didn't glue this down on the top here, so I can't really take it off because to take off this means these aren't glued in either, right? So I'd have to take these off as well. But it gives me display options anyway. So, you know, if I wanted to, I could show it apart and have it mounted beside the Yamato. That's the idea. Or like it is, it's a model of its own. You can put that on a nice little display area there and show it off like that. Do all the weathering, everything on that, make it come up nice, weather it all inside there as well. But there you go. So that's our Fujimi 1/200 scale Yamato turret, 1 of 3. I'll build the rest off camera and that'll be fine. I'll put some photos up that I took of it. Well, I'll put them up now so you can view them. It's nice views from different angles there. And I'll say thank you all for watching. It was a bit of a longer video, this one, but we got it all done in two takes, 2 videos, so that was a bit of a unique thing. And thank you for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't. Give us a thumbs up if you liked it. Your comments are welcome below, and I'll see you in the next video, the next build, whatever that may be, hey? Alright? Okay, thanks guys. Bye for now.